Okay, still on adaptations this week. We are continuing from where we stopped last week. Okay, so under structural adaptations, we have talked about adaptations for obtaining food, we've talked about adaptations for escape and defense, and we are moving on to adaptations for securing mates. Okay, so sexually reproducing animals usually have adaptations that help them to recognize their mates. Okay, it helps them to attract compatible mates so that their species can continue. So sexual selection generally favors a dull appearance for the females. You'd see for most animals, the females don't have striking appearances, they're just dull looking, and an attractive one for the male. So the males use their striking features together with appropriate behavioral adaptations to attract the females. Okay, so just note that we are talking about sexually reproducing animals here, okay, not asexual animals, because they don't need mates. So that's not what we're talking about now. We're talking about sexually reproducing animals, mostly mammals. Okay, so let's look at our first examples. Lizard. All right, here lizards they are ubiquitous. You see them every day. So the normal lizards you see, the small brown or sometimes greenish looking ones are the females. Their appearances are usually dull, they don't have any bright colors, because it is usually the males that need to attract mates. The females are they are the ones to be attracted. Okay, so they don't need the striking appearance. In this picture you'd see the male, that's the bigger one, the ones we call the agama lizard. The red-haired ones, sometimes purple, they have dark bodies, black, usually shiny appearances, colored head and tail. So these this striking features they have is to attract the females. Okay, so that's an adaptation for securing mates. Okay, these are the features that attract compatible mates to them, that makes their species, the female of their species, recognize them as their mates. Okay, so for lizards are usually social, and they live in a group of one male and lots of females. Okay, so the male has to attract females to mate. Okay, so physical adaptations are important for animals to recognize their mates. In many vertebrates, conspicuous appearance and courtship behavior play important roles in securing mates. Okay, you've seen where a lizard, a male lizard, the big green, the big black ones with red head and tails, where they fight over a female, or you see one chasing one of the small brown ones around. Okay, so that's their courtship behavior. They chase the female around till she eventually stops, but when she doesn't stop, that means they are not compatible mates. So those are their courtship behaviors. Now, for mating to take place amongst these animals, they usually have features, because here we are talking structural adaptations, right? So they have features that help them mate, help them secure their mate and carry out the mating process for continuation of their species. Okay, so for the lizards, you'd see their appearance is one, the tail is not just for fancy, and then they have their cloaca. The females have cloaca, and so does the male. The male have hemipenis. Okay, so These are features that help them to mate. Okay, so let's move on to another example here. The frog. Okay, we see two frogs here, one bigger, one smaller. Okay, so did you notice the difference in their size? Which one do you think is the male and which is the female? The small one is usually the male, the one that is on top. The females are usually bigger. Okay, and now this is an adaptation for mating, because for them to successfully reproduce, the female carries the male on her back, usually sometimes for hours or for days sometimes. As the female frog lays the eggs, because fertilization in frogs is external. Okay, there is no penetration, or it's external fertilization. The female lays the eggs, so as she lays her eggs, the male, being attached on her back, pours the sperms on the eggs to fertilize them. Okay, so that way they continue that way till she lays all her eggs, with the male on her back fertilizing them as they come out. Okay, so their difference in size is actually a physical adaptation for mating. If the male was bigger than the female, this wouldn't be possible. Okay, and also the male has sticky, it has a pad, the pad on the webbed feet, with which it attaches itself to the female so that it doesn't just fall off while the female is jumping around and laying eggs. Okay, so just like animals, plants also have adaptations for reproduction. Okay, mention some plant adaptations for reproduction. Okay, all right, see you next time. Bye bye.